With the recent news of Panic at the Disco's musical journey coming to a close, I found it fitting to make a tribute video to be able to get across what this 19-year-long musical journey has been like for me, what it's done for me, how it's affected me, inspired me, and saved me. So here goes nothing. What does Panic at the Disco mean to me?
Shut up, go to bed.
When I was a lot younger, I don't even know what the age was, it was that long ago, I heard one song that most people seem to have jumped on the wagon with. I write sins, not tragedies.
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in.
This seems to be one of, if not their most overall iconic song, and one that really drew in countless people who have now become huge fans. I was in the car and it was on the radio, and I heard it. And from then, I knew I needed more. But being so young, I didn't think of it again until a few years later in 2016. A decent way through the band's journey, and I hadn't heard any of their songs since that lucky right place, right time car ride. That was until I was at a friend's sleepover for his birthday. I was 13 years old at the time, and one of my friends brought out his phone and showed me 3 songs that he thought I might like. Death of a Bachelor, Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, and 9 in the Afternoon. As I was listening, all those memories came back from that car ride where I first heard I Write Sins for the very, very first time. These 3 songs relit that 3-minute and 5-second fire my young self felt while driving home from school. And although that car ride was my first encounter, that sleepover was the night I truly discovered Panic at the Disco and found the very first artist I was ever a hardcore fan of.
Shut up, go to bed.
From that night onwards, I had downloaded every song on Spotify and listened to them all on repeat every single day, learning every word, processing every beat and every meaning, and relating to whatever the song is telling me. I was a massive fan. I loved every song from every album. And since I only jumped in not too long after Death of a Bachelor's release in 2016, 2018 was my first Panic at the Disco album released as a fan, with Pray for the Wicked.
Oh, it's Saturday night. I pray for the wicked on the weekend. Mama, can I get another amen? Oh.
Pray for the Wicked got a lot of mixed opinions from fans, saying it's too poppy and too different from what they've done before, but not from me. This album was the first time I could join Instagram groups and Reddit chats about how excited we were for the new album, and once it released, how much I loved it. And I do. I will defend Pray for the Wicked until the day I die. With 6 of my all-time favorite albums released, I had a ton of music that I knew off by heart under my belt, which was just what I needed because of how the journey took a turn between 2020 and 2022.
Shut up, go to bed.
This segment is the one that will most likely have a lot of people click off this video. I also must point out that this part of the video features some triggering terms and phrases that might make some people uncomfortable or uneasy, so if you don't feel comfortable listening to this sort of thing, you can skip to this time frame here. I'm not sure how it started or when it started, but sometime between 2020 and 2021, allegations against Brendan Urie surfaced. These were largely surrounding sexual assault and just general inappropriate behavior and speech towards fans, other bandmates, and audience members. A lot happened during this period. Some people came forward and spoke up about their experiences, while others came to Brendan's aid. A lot of those people were Brendan's friends, but a large portion of this came from the fanbase, the Vros. When the allegations died down, a large group of people in this fanbase created a document that stated everything Brendan was being accused of, and debunked them through the use of real evidence, testimonies from people with Brendan, and more. These allegations never left social media, which led people to believe that they weren't as solid as the accusers were making out. People began noticing that a common link between these allegations was that of the times not matching up. One thing I can recall off the top of my head is when Brendan was accused of something at a specific time in one specific state, although on that date and time he was touring in another state. So how could he be in 2 places at once? This, alongside all the other information, led a lot of the people accusing Brendan to come out and tell the truth, that they made it up. Even the very first person said she made it up because she was doing it as a joke and didn't expect it to get any bigger. All of this came to a head Every current public allegation against Brendan Urie had either been debunked or confessed to be not true by the people who started the rumors in the first place. From this period onward, Brendan never received another public sexual assault allegation. People continued to find reasons to hate him though, through the use of music slander and digging up old clips. People began to use social media to abuse and sometimes even threaten Brendan and his wife Sarah. This is still continuing up until today.
Shut up, go to bed.
Brendan still loved his fan base, his true fan base, not the ones who turned on him when the false allegations came up, not the ones who didn't acknowledge his growth and sorrow or accepted his apologies when old clips resurfaced. His true fans, the Vros. Brendan started streaming on Twitch as a way to connect to his fans without the use of music. With all the recent backlash, I'm sure he didn't want to risk another album, at least not yet. Brendan's streams range from music, Fortnite, just chatting, and his Vro prom that he and Sarah held in honor of the students who couldn't go to prom due to COVID-19 and its lockdown restrictions. Through these streams, which were largely Fortnite, Brendan played with some of Twitch and YouTube's greatest. Basically I Do Work, Courage JD, Tim the Tapman, Ninja, and even musicians like Jordan Fisher, Dylan Francis, and Tyler Joseph and Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots. These streams were all we had content-wise from Brendan. I spent Christmas watching his Christmas Fortnite streams. I made some friends at the Vro prom, and I really felt like I was a part of an amazing community that loved and supported Brendan the same way I do.
Shut up, go to bed.
With no new music since 2018's Pray for the Wicked, and the Twitch streams starting to become less and less frequent, I was starting to think that this was the beginning of the end. After a while, Brendan stopped streaming on Twitch altogether. We had no new content, nothing. I really thought it was over. This was a tough time for me. I listened to every album and watched every single Fortnite video Brendan has ever been a part of just so I could enjoy some sort of content. I went through thousands and thousands of pages and YouTube videos trying to find unreleased music and every single unreleased track, every demo, every cover, just because I needed more. Turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights, turn off the lights. Turn on the show for me tonight.
Come on. I want to be free.
I wanna be free, I wanna be loved, I wanna be more than you're thinking of. Everything seems to be a strange when you're alone.
And can't fight against the youth.
Can't fight against the youth. Can't fight against the youth. Never take us alive. Can't fight against the youth.
To name a few, all of these unreleased songs that I could use to fill the hole in my heart. I truly thought we weren't going to get any more content after that final stream, so I was grasping for anything, and I kept doing so, with the thought of him never coming back in mind. That was until May 19th, 2022.
Shut up, go to bed.
May 19th, 2022 was one of the most excited I've ever been in my life. That one post, Panic at the Disco, was coming back and it would be glorious. More posts, more teasers, more photos, and more theories led to June 1st, 2022, the release of Panic's comeback single, Viva Los Vengeance.
Shut up and go to bed. She said, Viva Las Vegas. Shut up and go to bed. She said, Viva Las Vegas.
Alongside the announcement of a new album of the same name. The closer it got to August 19th, the more excited I kept getting. We got 3 more singles, Middle of a Breakup,
Give me disco, give me T-Rex. Make up sex in the middle of a breakup. Pass me your last cigarette. Make up sex in the middle of a breakup.
Local God,
Local God, you'll live forever as a local God. It's even better than the thing you're not. Local God.
and Don't Let the Lights Go Out. My hype and my happiness were through the roof. And then August 19th came around. A whole new album after thinking I was never going to hear new music again. New clothes to wear, new live shows, new concerts, new fan arts, new interviews, and most importantly, Brendan, the man who had comforted me through music for years, was back. And I knew he was okay. After everything, all the drama and the hate, he came back. Viva Las Vengeance was great in my eyes, but the public didn't think so. Some hate it, some have very mixed feelings, and others call it one of the worst albums of last year. But I couldn't disagree more. Maybe I was blinded by my excitement and for my love of the band, but I don't care. I love this album. I listened to it on repeat for months after its release, and I thought this might be the real comeback of Brendan Urie and Panic at the Disco. But no.
Shut up, go to bed.
On January 25th, 2023, the official Panic at the Disco page posted on Instagram this photo. Well, it's been a hell of a journey. Growing up in Vegas, I could have never imagined where my life would take me. So many places all over the world, and all the friends we've made along the way. But sometimes a journey must end for a new one to begin. We've been trying to keep it to ourselves, though some of you may have heard. Sarah and I are expecting a baby very soon. The prospect of being a father and getting to watch my wife become a mother is both humbling and exciting. I look forward to this next adventure. That said, I'm going to bring this chapter of my life to an end and put my focus and energy on my family. And with that, Panic at the Disco will be no more. Thank you all for your immense support over the years. I've sat here trying to come up with the perfect way to say this, and I truly can't put into words how much it has meant to us. Whether you've been here since the beginning or you are just finding us, it has been a pleasure to not only share the stage with so many talented people, but also share our time with you. I am looking forward to seeing everyone in Europe and the UK for one last run together. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for existing. Brendan. I was heartbroken. I couldn't believe it. I teared up, and you could probably even hear me tearing up while reading that out just then. This was my first time watching a band that I love come to an end. I'm so happy for Brendan and Sarah. I know they're both going to be amazing parents, and I really hope we as the fans can still get an occasional look in when they feel comfortable enough to do so. But it's a bittersweet message, knowing that Brendan has had a very successful 19-year-long career, and now that he's going to become a father with his soulmate is lovely, and it makes me so happy. But there's just some things about this that will destroy me. I'm sad I'll never get to see Brendan Urie perform live, who I genuinely think has the strongest male singing voice I've ever heard. A man whose music has shaped me and saved me and will always have a place in my house of memories. My strong anxiety sometimes gets the best of me, and there used to be a time where the only way I could get myself to school was to listen to either Panic at the Disco or 21 Pilots while I got ready, and it always worked. I even used Hey Look Ma, I Made It in my high school graduation YouTube video. Yes, because I made it to the end of high school, but I could have picked any song to represent that. I knew I needed Hey Look Ma because it also signified the end of an era that Panic at the Disco helped me get through. I just wish Brendan's final few years as Panic at the Disco would have been easier on him. I would hate to know that Brendan's ending his career thinking most people don't like him or his music anymore, which is absolutely not true. He is an amazing, caring, hilarious, inspiring, and extremely talented person who didn't deserve any of the hate, unjust rumors, and false accusations he received. I will forever be grateful for everything this band has done for me, and I am extremely happy that Brendan is taking the time for his family, his beautiful wife, and their extremely lucky soon-to-be child. So, like Brendan always says, I want to leave Brendan, Sarah, and the Rose with one thing. I love you, I appreciate you, thank you for existing, and as always,
remember how dope you are.